PhenQ is a branded combination supplement being marketed for weight loss. But how does it work, and is it safe to use? Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young, a naturopathic doctor in Toronto. We'll take a deeper look into popular brands of weight loss supplements, so subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date if you're interested. Let's take a look at PhenQ for weight loss. Let's first take a look at the ingredients. Here are the doses per capsule. The recommended dosing is once at breakfast and once at lunch, so that's a daily dose of 2 per day. Despite the name PhenQ, the supplement doesn't contain any of the medication phentermine, which is good since phentermine is a prescription medication and can't be purchased legally in an over-the-counter supplement. There's quite a few ingredients here, so let's analyze the ingredients one at a time. Calcium carbonate. Some research suggests that people with low calcium intake are more likely to gain weight. There's additional evidence to suggest that dairy intake may help with weight loss, particularly in those with low dietary calcium intake. However, this effect on weight loss appears to only be the case in those who aren't getting enough calcium in their diet. Furthermore, studies that supplement calcium in non-deficient, healthy overweight adults find no effect on weight loss. So if you were deficient in calcium or needed more calcium on a day-to-day basis, like with postmenopausal women, taking the daily 1,250 milligrams of calcium PhenQ provides might help with weight loss. But even if that were the case, you would likely find it much cheaper to take a regular calcium supplement or to introduce some dairy or calcium-rich foods into your diet. Caffeine anhydrous. This is likely the most effective part of the supplement, as caffeine does have some potential uses for weight loss, mostly in the form of increased energy leading to more frequent and intense physical activity. We have a video specifically on caffeine and coffee for weight loss. You can check it out in the description down below. The 300 milligrams of caffeine PhenQ provides per day is equivalent to around 6 shots of espresso. That's quite a lot, so if you have blood pressure or anxiety issues, you should probably ask your doctor first. L-Carnitine Fumarate. L-carnitine is an amino acid that's used by your body to help convert fat into energy. It's like an energy transport for fat cells. Research has shown that supplementing L-carnitine has some small effects on weight loss, with patients losing on average 2 to 3 pounds over a few months. Unfortunately, the doses that were used in those studies were over 2 grams per day. That's at least 2,000 milligrams per day. We're getting about 285 milligrams in PhenQ, so we're about 7 times too short. α-LACY. α-LACY or α-LACY's Reset is a proprietary blend of alpha-lipoic acid and cysteine. This blend is approximately 50% each. Alpha-lipoic acid is an antioxidant that might have some effects on fat metabolism. Indeed, there is some evidence to suggest it might be helpful for weight loss, with patients losing on average 3 to 4 pounds over a few months. Again, the dosing is a problem here, since the effective doses that were used in those studies were on average 1,000 milligrams of alpha-lipoic acid per day. PhenQ provides around 25 milligrams per day. That's 40 times less than the effective dose. Cysteine is an amino acid that, as far as I know, has no significant effects on weight loss, so I'm not sure why it was included, but my guess would be cost. They may have wanted to include some alpha-lipoic acid into the supplement, and purchasing a bulk amount of this α-LACY pre-mixed blend might have been cheaper than getting pure alpha-lipoic acid. This type of substitution is common in the supplement industry to save costs. Nopal. Nopal are cactus pads. It's a vegetable eaten in Mexican cuisine. For weight loss, much like any vegetable, it provides soluble fiber, which bulks out the stomach and makes you feel fuller. This is why many vegetables, including nopal, are a great addition to any weight loss diet. The amount of soluble fiber needed to help people feel fuller and eat less varies from person to person, but most research suggests supplementing around 3 to 9 grams of soluble fiber per day is needed for some noticeable effect. Unfortunately, the 50 milligram dose provided by PhenQ is the equivalent of eating a pea-sized amount of nopal vegetable and hoping that it's going to make you feel full. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Magnesium stearate. Magnesium stearate is a powder that coats the pills and is commonly used as a lubricant to make pills easier to swallow, so this is an inactive filler. Capsicum extract. Here's an example of tricky labeling. Did you catch it? The label says capsicum extract, not capsaicin extract. Capsicum refers to a family of vegetables that include non-spicy chilies and bell peppers. Capsaicin is the chemical compound that makes things taste spicy, and is the compound that might help some people with weight loss. So even though capsicum extracts may contain small amounts of capsaicin, it'll be nowhere near as potent as pure capsaicin. Even then, pure capsaicin may only have limited uses in weight loss. You can check it out in another video down in the description where we cover capsaicin for weight loss. Sipernat 225. According to the manufacturer, Sipernat 225 is a food-grade silica that helps to convert liquids into crushable powder, so this is another inactive filler. Why they keep putting fillers into the active ingredients list is beyond me. Niacin powder. Niacin is vitamin B3, and like many of the other B vitamins, particularly B12 or B6, they're essential vitamins used by the body for fat metabolism. Niacin can be found in nearly all foods, from vegetables to fruits to meats to whole grains, and the dose here used is pretty small, so unless you're severely deficient in niacin, which is very rare in North America, it won't make a difference. If you were deficient in niacin, I would recommend just taking a regular niacin supplement. It'll be way cheaper. Piperine extract. Piperine is a compound found in pepper that's responsible for its peppery flavor. There's some belief that piperine can in some way help with weight loss by stimulating metabolism. Unfortunately, the research doesn't appear to reflect this, so based on what we know, its effects on weight are likely insignificant. Piperine is also sometimes used in combination supplements to help improve the absorption of other components within the supplement, like turmeric. There's some weak evidence that piperine might improve caffeine absorption, but there's already enough caffeine in PhenQ. Unless you're trying to pull multiple all-nighters, you don't need any more for weight loss. Chromium picolinate. There's some weak evidence to suggest that supplementing chromium in people who have insulin resistance problems like diabetes or PCOS might slightly help with their weight loss, with the average patient losing around 1 pound over a few months. But this tiny effect on weight appears to only affect those populations. Studies that supplement chromium in healthy, overweight adults find no effect on weight loss. The doses used in those studies hover around 200 micrograms, so this time PhenQ gets pretty close at 160 micrograms. Side effects and concerns. From the listed ingredients, my main concern would be the amounts of caffeine. If you have cardiovascular issues, suffer from anxiety disorders, or are taking other stimulant drugs like phentermine, you need to ask your doctor to see if it's safe. This would also not be safe for pregnancy or if you are breastfeeding. I would not exceed the suggested dosing of 2 capsules per day, or the amounts of caffeine might start to cause symptoms of caffeine overdose like anxiety, headaches, or dizziness. I would also avoid taking it in the evening, or it might cause insomnia. Is it effective? It appears that the primary way PhenQ would work, if it did work at all, would be thanks to all that caffeine. Caffeine can give some people more energy to exercise more frequently and with greater intensity. It might be helpful if you're calcium deficient and you require more calcium. It might also be helpful if you have insulin resistance, like if you had type 2 diabetes or PCOS, since chromium can be helpful for those individuals. However, you could achieve a much better effect much more cost efficiently with a regular calcium or chromium supplement. For the other fancy looking ingredients, the doses obtained from PhenQ are minuscule and will likely not have any effect on weight loss. Is it worth it? In my opinion, PhenQ is essentially just an overpriced caffeine pill with some added calcium and chromium. Like most caffeine supplements, the main way it would help is if it helped to improve your energy and increase your frequency and intensity of your exercises. PhenQ tries to combine a few other helpful ingredients, however, the doses that it uses effectively limit it to just a calcium, chromium, and caffeine supplement. Calcium and chromium are only useful in certain populations in terms of helping with weight loss, and even then their effects are relatively modest. Caffeine can be helpful, but only if you find it useful to increase exercise. PhenQ is also pretty expensive as a supplement, with a 60 pill bottle costing $90 Canadian. Because you're taking 2 per day, that's about $90 per month. Compared to if you were to just get caffeine tablets, it's about $2 to $3 per month. Add on calcium, which is $5 to $6 per month, and chromium, which is $3 to $4 per month, and you can essentially mimic what PhenQ provides for around $10 to $13 per month just by supplementing them individually. If you do decide to try it, always keep in mind that taking it without a proper weight loss diet or lifestyle is not likely going to have any effects on weight whatsoever. So if you're not ready to modify your diet and lifestyle habits, don't bother with it. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments down below about what you think. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know can use the info.